Hello, Tom Levecchia here with the latest edition of the New Theory Podcast. So, folks, we're continuing to roll out the podcast. We're going to have obviously some subject matter stuff rolled out related to Corona. But also, you know what? As a marketer, as a business person, I also believe that this show must go on. Today we have Wally, who is an interesting guy, a guy that I fell in love with right away. You're going to love his creativity. You're going to love his passion. And he is from, and how do you pronounce the name of your company again, Wally?
Iwanciw Functional Funwear.
Love it. All right. So, Wally, let's jump in. First, how are you holding up? How's your health? How's your team? Let's kind of get to the important stuff, which people kind of gloss over these days.
Yeah, I'm covered. I think I have God's protection, so I'm good. Thank you.
Love it. Okay. So we're going to put a link to your website, and he has some really great, I like it because it's kind of like, it's, in my opinion, fashion forward, a little bohemian, but it just has a unique style that I've yet to come across. So Wally, how did you start out as a designer, and kind of walk us through your journey?
Well, I cut my teeth in the clothing business, making 4-make suits. And then I saw the jean business as a burgeoning business that wasn't going to go away too soon, possibly with the advent of spacesuits, but we're not there yet. So I thought to make something that was jean friendly, colorful. I love cotton. And the industry of sweater knit was right here in New York, New Jersey area. And I jumped on it with some natural cottons that I made my own fabric, signature fabric. And then I colored it. And what I discovered was a unique dye system, which I call sky dye, which is very, very much like the sky, with dispersion, clouds, ombre, things of that nature.
Love it. Okay. So you kind of came across something that you thought was on trend at the time. But one of the things that I spent a little time with Wally, enough to get to know him pretty well. Obviously going to spend more time with him as the time passes. But with Wally, what I like is he marches to his own drummer, which I like. Then on top of it, his stuff happens to be very on trend. But you also said to me, and this stuck out to me, that you tend to avoid trends and kind of go with what feels right. So walk us through your design process and what has made you successful so far.
Well, I'm respectful to conventional, design aspects of color, silhouette, things of that nature. But my stuff is pretty fundamental. It's, sweatshirts, sweaters. It's a better classification. It's wearable art. I look at combinations of traditional colors. So when you put it into your closet, it kind of goes with mainly jeans, but, it goes with people. There's the cool tones, the earth tones. There's a lot of jewel tones. And, it's just comfortable cotton sweatshirt sweaters that are easy to wear. So I don't think they're ever going to go out of style. We stop wearing clothes. Maybe that'll happen, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So it's just functional funwear, just like the handle is. It's just easy, and people like cotton. So that's what my success is. And you like unique.
Now, you mentioned wearable art, and, very simply, some people, it's kind of self-explanatory, but it's not. What would make something wearable art versus being just another article of clothing, in your opinion?
Well, in this sense, my color design, as I call it, sky dye. And also there's another element which I use, what was be termed patchwork, but I've taken my patchwork where I new cycle. It's sort of a way of respecting, using, and not throwing, sustainable. My cotton is very, very good fabric, good quality yarn. So I worked that back into patchwork, and then out of the patchwork, I cut out these silhouettes which I call geo patterning, very much like nature. There's a prism design, there's a rolling hills design. So inspirations from the outdoors is part of what it is. And then it's not a typical piece. You're not going to find it in a I guess, the conventional department stores. That's what my customer tells me, that they like standing out. They like being one of a kind. They are, and they don't mind, paying the money for something that will also last. My stuff's machine washable, and it's sustainable.
Now, you've been around a while and seen a lot of people kind of come and go, but you've always, kind of stayed in the game, which is a testament of not just, hey, great designs, but also smart business maneuvering. So give us kind of how the game has changed from the business perspective, let's say the last 5 or 10 years.
Well, I can only speak from my vantage point, but my people keep on coming back. I would say probably 80% of my business is repeat business. Now, I don't understand it in total, so we're going to go do some marketing in terms of connecting with my customers that own inordinate amounts of pieces. I ask my girls, you own 10, 12, some of them over 25. I have one girl in New York City owns, I can't even tell you, it's just a crazy amount. But she says she wears every one. She has to date 62 pieces. So again, I think that's really outside of what my normal customer is, but my customer likes my stuff, and it works not just casual, but because people are, you've got dress down Fridays and whatever days they have, and my stuff is art, so it kind of can work back into a lot of different art outfits, and people wear it to work, and they wear it for pleasure and leisure. When they go on vacation, they send me pictures from all over the world.
So we're releasing this on our partner magazine, Digest magazine, which is indigenous to the Gold Coast, as well as New Theory, which is worldwide, which is nice. But why the Gold Coast? Why Jersey versus New York? I think you're in Western New York, actually. So, which is in New Jersey for those people not near. And why the Gold Coast? Why Western New York, and why Hudson County, or let's say Brooklyn or City, or somewhere that might be a little bit more artistic? Walk us through why you're in Jersey.
Well, I'm a Jersey boy. I have my roots here. I was born in Passaic. I'm still in the area. I do shows in Jersey from all the way down to Edison. Outside of Philly also, I'm down in that area. And then, of course, up in Montclair. So, I go to, my stuff is easy to wear. So I have a customer everywhere. And, Jersey has a fluency, and they have taste, it's just, and they like comfort, casual comfort. But, metropolitan New York, I have girls that come from New York. They come from Long Island, they come from Connecticut, they come visit me. And when I have a chance, I try to do shows anywhere from DC all the way, Philadelphia, Baltimore, up to Connecticut. So I have this whole section. But the Gold Coast, I like people to come to the shop. So I think, convenience, and especially with Hoboken and some of the other areas, affluent areas, Jersey City, it's really, happening. If they knew that I was here and they can come get something customizable, something made for them, I think they'd love it.
Okay, walk me through. So you have clients that are currently getting, garbage from you, right? So what has been your marketing so far? How have people found you in the past, and what's your plan moving forward to get awareness out there for the brand?
Well, again, I do these art shows, and that's where I sell my wares, my wearable art, where there's beautiful glass, jewelry, wood, clay, fine art, and it's great. But I really have found that when people come up to the shop here in West New York, they really enjoy themselves because of what I was able to build here. So there's a little store within the shop, shop in the shop. They can pick fabrics. They love the dynamic, and it's a lot of fun. I try to limit it to, maybe 3 to 4 people at a time, but it's what I want to develop, more touches locally. I don't think, as well as this could sell in Europe because of the look, it's sort of a, people, for lack of a better word, they say it's tie-dye, but, it's not what I do. My stuff is softer. It's prettier. It's more like nature. So, but that's okay. It's just a matter of, some people relate to that because of what happened with the 60s. And, like you said, it's trending. It's happening. So trying to stay local and develop the shop. And actually, since I'm in the New York metropolitan area and all the 3 airports are here, LaGuardia, Newark, and Kennedy, I think once people know about me, I think they'll come to the shop when they come and visit New York City.
Love it, because I've been in your showroom and you have a ton of inventory, you got a ton of great stuff. I like the fact that you're not compromising on quality. You didn't like succumb to certain trends. Your price point is, somewhat of a premium price point, but much less than custom designers, which I would kind of almost put you in that category respectfully, because I do think your stuff, although you might make multiple pieces, you run very small runs, and it's also a custom design. So how are you operating and how are you managing in this volatile coronavirus environment? And this is, listen, you've respectfully been around, and you kind of seen a lot of shit, if you will. But to me, this is unprecedented. I'm a Gen Xer, I'm in my 40s. I've been through myself, but I've never seen anything like this. So give us how you're handling it. Do you compare this to anything in the past? Is it more novel, you think? And you don't got a crystal ball, but how do you think this will all shake out?
Well, going back a bit, to what's been happening, you said in the industry and what's been happening in the world, and what, America and Jersey and the metropolitan New York area has been looking for. They're looking for real. Well, it doesn't get realer than this. So, it sort of reminds me back in 9/11 when, the playing field got leveled and people had to reevaluate their lives and what's important. I look, our tagline, "Let's color the world," is not just tied into the merchandise. I have relationships with all of my customers. We don't even have anybody sending anything back. The purchases stick. So I have this great track record with my customer because of relationships. So the thing right now, I think, is what's happening is, again, I gotta consider God in this, because he is sort of leveled the playing field, and it's sort of like he's making us like being home, being remote, whatever, being home with your family. We're learning what it is to, like my friend just told me, he said, I just met three neighbors I never met before. We were just on the street, because people are now they're not in this race to, just do, and, with all the technology. So I think life's just being called right now to be a little simpler. And I hope we learn something from that, and then we could develop, and I think it's in my favor also, because that's what, my motto is to let's color the world and color people's lives.
I love it. So this is Iwanciw. Iwanciw? Is that how you pronounce it?
Well, my name is actually Ukrainian. It's Iwanciw. Volodymyr Mykola Iwanciw, which is Walter Nicholas Iwanciw. But people, because they've never been able to say that here. They tried doing it once when I tried to stay European, Eastern European, that is, they said, "He wants you." And I said, that's not going to work. So we just stayed with the way they used to call me back in grammar school and right through high school. "I want you," when I used to play ball. It was, "I want you." So it's "I want you" functional funwear. So then in California, they say, "I want to see you." However it works for you, but it's just, the tagline. It is my last name. Yeah.
This is Wally mixing in functional and funwear. Wally, how can I'll put some links below, but for those just listening on drive time, etc., how can people find it?
Well, obviously we can go old school, and you can call me. You can call me right on my cell. I don't know why I'm doing that, but it's sort of like I'm looking for connections, like real connections. So, my cell number is 201-417-7488. The email's Wally at Iwanciw. I want you spelled IWANCIW .com. And then, of course, the website, you can talk to me through that, which is www.iwanciw.com, IWANCIW.
All right, Wally, listen, I appreciate you being on the podcast. We're going to furnish the links below. Stay safe. And
Amen.
safe. And any words of advice or encouragement for those listening during these tough times?
Yeah, just, I mean, I would say, it's easy enough and people I'm sure are praying, but kind of like, whatever God's allowing right now, just kind of tap in and see what your part is in it. And I think we're going to come out of this well. I mean, obviously, all the things you're telling you on the hygienic side of wash your hands, watch your contact, but, diet, all of those things. But just, let's move forward, because that's what we all need. And let's do it together. That's all.
Love it, Wally. Love your positivity. And thank you for being on the New Theory podcast.
I appreciate you, Tom. Thank you for your time, too.